We often don't hear about women in history, but women have an important contribution to make. Here are some of the women who helped contribute to Canada. Margaret Janet Hart. She organized Canada's first parent-teacher association in Nova Scotia, then made sure British Columbia history was recorded when she took up residence on Vancouver Island. She was the first woman principal of the Nova Scotia Academy and had her hand x-rayed as a demonstration for her class from Alexander Graham Bell. She moved to BC with her husband, but when her husband went away, she ran a 40-acre farm as a single mother and was also a school trustee. May Leppington, then May Hardy of South Vancouver, walked miles through the bush with a basket of medical supplies when she helped people suffering from the influenza epidemic. Alice Ravenhill promoted crafts, collected Indian myths, and was an advisor on home economics, lecturing and writing on this. She set up a home cleanliness and care program for the Department of Agriculture in 1911. Pauline Johnson, born in 1861 on a Mohawk reserve, daughter of George Johnson, a Six Nation chief, and an English immigrant, Emily Howell. Both sides of her family were against the marriage. She was a natural actress and liked attention. She wore a buckskin ermine and a necklace of bear claws. She was a famous poetry reader. Her poetry talked about paddles, feathers, fir trees, sculpting, and war. Her famous poem was the song My Paddle Sings. Around the turn-off of the century, she made $700 in 2 nights with her entertainment troupe. She moved to Vancouver and published books while she suffered from cancer. She has a memorial at Stanley Park. Women had to work very hard in the canneries, and there was no daycare for their children. The children had to wait like these Japanese children did. It must have been very boring and dangerous for them. Barbara Pentland is a composer. She performs her own piano pieces in public. On the piano. Nancy Greene was a skier from Rossland, won the World Cup in 1967, won a silver and gold medal in 1968 Olympics and a World Cup. Nancy Greene used to say, "Why come in second when you could come in first?" She was known as the Tiger of the Slopes by the sports writers. Jean Lockwood from Galiano Island started a newspaper and a renovated chicken house. She was a political activist criticizing the government for neglecting roads and locals for not approving school improvement bylaws. She sold the paper and raised money to bring power to the North Island because BC Hydro refused to serve them. She organized a whole community, even children, to work together. Susan Musgrave, a British Columbian poet, wrote children's books. I hope you enjoyed the women I chose to speak about in my presentation. I thought they were very interesting.